What's going on, everyone? Welcome to another exciting episode of Forever News! Today, as always, we've got some stories to talk about. For starters, a very depressing story, we'll get to it in a second, regarding one of the animators on Attack on Titan. He was depressed after the latest episode due to a lot of stuff that went down on social media. We will be talking about that one because yeah, it's just, this has been a reoccurring issue I've noticed now at this particular point, and we got to address it. Next up, we got some really cool news for the Black Clover anime and the Boruto anime as well, making major moves, and I love to see it. We got some cool news for the upcoming episodes of Yashahime Princess Half Demon, aka Inuyasha's spin-off anime regarding the kids, and this is going to be some juicy stuff because a lot of the questions that we have had regarding what happened with the OG cast of characters is starting to come to light. However, there's also one thing that I am appalled by, if this is indeed true based on what I'm seeing. I am appalled. I am grossed the hell out. We will talk about it. Got a couple of small stories regarding Demon Slayer. For starters, Gintama doing some major damage. We'll get to that. But also, Tomino, one of the creators, if I'm not mistaken, of Gundam, had a couple of words for Demon Slayer. And if you know Tomino, you know that he is notoriously an old hater, and we're going to talk about it. Huge and amazing news for Jujutsu Kaisen that you're not going to believe regarding the manga. You're going to be like, Fenev, didn't you just tell us like a few days ago something else? Like, how is this happening? Yeah, it's awesome. We got some hilarious stuff regarding one of the editors for the One Piece manga that you're going to be like, Nani sore? Yeah, we're going to talk about it. And lastly, we got finally an anime PV trailer for the new work, or the anime adaptation of the new work from the creator of Fairy Tail, Hiromashima, Eden's Zero. We finally got the anime trailer because I believe it's supposed to be coming in spring, and they're starting to show visuals, and yeah, I'm excited to talk about it. So yeah, we've got a little hefty folder of stories to talk about today. Without further ado, let's jump into another exciting episode of Forever News! The only news source that provides anything and everything anime and manga related. And we don't bore you. We get into it. Let's do it. Make your move. That's how it be, though. Okay, people, so for starters, let's talk about one of the recent little controversies that went down with Attack on Titan. In particular, a director over on social media of Attack on Titan. He was harassed to a certain degree, and I guess you could even say slandered, regarding the latest episode, Declaration of War, and it made him depressed. Now, I want to say that the tweet was a tweet and delete, although he's had follow-up tweets to that original tweet, and one of the people said, Attack on Titan episode director of the Declaration of War episode was depressed because of all the negativity the episode got. Basically, he said that he was depressed because one of the major complaints that people had about the latest episode of Attack on Titan, which honestly, I didn't realize that it was that big of a deal, that people were actually really going hardcore about it, but people were not happy about the musical choice, in particular for the scene at the end of the episode. You know, it's episode 64 or episode 5 of season 4. Yeah, people were really going hard at it. Now, I want to look at it in a couple different aspects, right? For starters, if you are attacking and not just having an opinion, if you are genuinely attacking or harassing an animator on Twitter or any social media for that matter over like your disdain or your disliking of a particular choice of something they've done with the anime or the manga, or whatever the case may be, go fuck yourself. Again, having an opinion, that's totally fine. Having a disagreeable opinion, whatever, but like to actually go hardcore with harassment or things like that, of like, yo, fuck you, you piece of shit, you should die because of this, like, go fuck yourself. It's never okay to do things like that. Now, however, I do gotta add something as well, because, you know, I've been doing this on the internet, talking online, being a public figure to a certain degree for over 10 years now, right? And I've seen it all. People have told me, called me every name in the book, told me I should die on a daily basis. You know, I've heard it all on here. So I will say this, that to a certain degree, these animators and these people, when they come to social media, they got to start getting to expect these things and coming with tough skin, because it's the internet. It's not an excuse by any means for shitty behavior. And like I said, if you're one of those people that are harassing or being just a straight prick for no reason to these people, yeah, you're a scumbag. But it does come with the territory. I've been doing this for a while now to know that, like, yeah, people are gonna say some wild off the wall shit, and at the end of the day, these are adults that are coming here. So I do gotta say, to a certain degree, like, the animators, if they can't take some of this stuff, and I'm not talking about the criticism, if they can't take like the piece of shits and the bullshit shit they gotta go through with the internet, perhaps they better off just staying anonymous. And it sucks, but it's the reality. Again, I've been through this for many years now of, you know, just having all sorts of slander come my way, and I've come to understand that the internet can be a cold place, and if you're not ready for this, if you're not built for this, if you don't want to deal with that, just continue your work offline, or just don't publicly say, hey, this is me or whatever, if you want to display your works, because yeah, things like this will happen. That's why a lot of mangaka, I'm sure, continue to stay anonymous with their identity in Japan, because who wants to deal with harassment and shit like that? So yeah, I just wanted to give two sides of it in terms of like, absolutely stop being assholes to these people that, you know, they slave over these products, these projects and whatnot. But at the same time, it's like, yeah, it's the internet at the end of the day, and pieces of shit are going to exist in every form of fashion. Next up, really cool news. Both Black Clover with its latest episode, the second episode of the time skip, as well as Boruto's first episode of the AO arc, both trended on Twitter, and I love to see it. Now, I'll be honest with you, the Black Clover episode nowhere near on the same league as the previous episode, the first episode of the time skip. It was kind of like, ugh, and I was disappointed with certain elements of like, yo, y'all had like some really awesome and spicy material, and y'all kind of dropped the ball there. Y'all know what I'm talking about with that Noel Mimosa scene, I'm just saying. But they trended, and honestly, it's a great thing. They both deserve it. It's been a long time coming. Boruto's latest episode was phenomenal, just starting off the AO arc, an amazing light. It seems as though Studio Period at the very least realized and recognized, like, no, this year we got to go hard. Like, we've been dropping the ball on both of these franchises for a while now, and with the first episode of the time skip and the first episode of the AO arc in Boruto, things is going really well. So shout outs to both Black Clover and Boruto, both trending and doing big things. Next up, let's talk about Yashahime Princess Half Demon, aka the spin-off anime to Inuyasha. Now, it's been on hiatus for a couple weeks now, because every anime goes on hiatus in between the year in order to regroup, and because, you know, everybody's focusing in on life stuff and whatnot, so they regroup or whatever. We're supposed to get the next episode, I want to say this coming Saturday, if I'm not mistaken, Friday night or Saturday, something along the lines of that. And we got some trailers, we got some early animation incoming, and from everything I'm seeing, it looks like it's going to get interesting to a certain degree. Like, it seems as though with spoilers, if you don't want to know, I've seen some images and whatnot, but seemingly we're going to have Sesshomaru. I don't know if it's going to be in a flashback. Sesshomaru is going to be brought into the story, and we're going to get some answers in terms of what the hell happened, like, you know, with these being his kids and things like that. But then also I've seen some imagery and people talking, and I'm still going to say that it's not confirmed yet, because I don't want to believe it, but that seemingly Rin is indeed the mother to the two main girls of Sesshomaru's, and I think that that's absolutely disgusting. That's grooming. That's just wrong, in my opinion. Like, she looked at him as a father figure. I think it's gross. If that is truly the case, I'm sorry. Like, that's nasty. Like, it is what it is. I'm sure there's gonna be people that disagree with me, but every time I've ever seen that relationship, it just straight up looked like a father and daughter. For her to grow up and then for him to have her have his babies, that's nasty as shit. And I get it, you want to do the plot, you want to have, you know, for Sesshomaru's kids, it got to be somebody that was close to Sesshomaru or something along the lines of that, but not the girl that, you know, he was raising that was pretty much like a daughter to him. That just comes across as nasty to me. I'm sorry, and if I get hate for it, so be it. It is what it is. That is wrong. I'm a father myself, so to see that, I am absolutely grossed out. But we gotta wait and see to make sure everything is as it seems, because for all we know, it could be that she played a mother figure to them or something along the lines of that, but everything from the images of her looking like it seems as though she had just given birth or something like that. Why Inuyasha? Why did Rumiko Takahashi confirm these things? Did she give them the okay to do this shit? Like, so next up, let's talk some Yoshiyuki Tomino. He's one of the people that created the Gundam franchise back in the day. You know, he's pretty much like an OG, but he's very similar to, if you've ever heard an interview from Hayao Miyazaki, that this man says some outrageously hateful shit about popular titles. I remember when Attack on Titan came out, he had some really harsh things to say about like the character designs, and he was really hateful towards it. And Tomino strikes again, because he just basically right now said that Demon Slayer's success is basically like a coincidence. Ooh, I almost just said some crazy shit. Let's read. Yoshiyuki Tomino praises Demon Slayer Kimetsu no Yaiba, but describes its cultural success as a coincidence. Live Door News posted an interview with Mobile Suit Gundam creator Yoshiyuki Tomino on Thursday, where he discussed his thoughts on the hit anime series Demon Slayer Kimetsu no Yaiba. First, he described the modern anime landscape, remarking that because anime has become so mainstream, a work needs to be created with real seriousness seriousness in order to stand out these days. He brought up Demon Slayer as an example of an anime that has transcended demographic boundaries. Tomino professed that he initially felt jealous about that's exactly right, you're a jealous hater, but jealous about Demon Slayer because of how the property was able to attract such a dedicated and talented staff. No, you're jealous of its success, okay, let's be real. Tomino, who takes a keen interest in headhunting and finding the right people to work on projects with him, remarked on how he's had experiences where people who were suitable at one time become incompatible or fade out of the picture. That's why when Demon Slayer came along, I thought, damn, those guys did it good. When I discovered the team they had assembled, the voice actors are great, the composer of the song that everyone knows is great, so many talented people showed up. In that sense, what I felt surpassed envy, and I started thinking, man, those guys sure are something. Tomino then continued, having said that, I don't think that Demon Slayer is a calculated or contrived work. I think that its assemblage was quite a coincidence. He went on to say that he thought that the vocalist must have been really passionate about the anime. It's strange to have encounters that align so perfectly, he said. In the anime industry, he explained, people often get chosen for a job because they just happen to be there, or because their schedules happen to align at the right time, or other coincidences of a similar nature. It can be rare for people with exactly the ideal talents or innate qualities to get chosen. Later in the interview, Tomino also shared his belief that Japan's anime films have reached a limit in terms of the peak amount of popularity they can achieve. Yeah, you wish. In the past 2 or 3 years, we've been seeing a trend among live action films where even they have been going digital without reluctance. Seeing that, I have to honestly say that we're currently at the limit. Anime films probably won't spread further than this. Shut up! There is the possibility that something will show up that becomes representative of the era, but in the end, I think Demon Slayer was a coincidence as well. The elements that made it a hit were assembled through coincidence, so I get the impression that its level of popularity is the upper limit. I'll just be honest with you, this is the words of a hater. I don't care about his legacy of being a big Gundam guy. Great, you created Gundam, some amazing stuff there. Gundam Wing, amazing. Just the Universal Century timeline, people love it and praise it, all of that jazz, but he is just a bitter hater, calling it a coincidence, and I get when he breaks it down or whatever, but I don't know, it just comes across as a hater to me, and it's not like I'm defending it because I'm a wild Demon Slayer fan. I enjoy Demon Slayer, I like it or whatever. I don't say that it's the greatest thing in the world, but to just write it off as a mere coincidence of the stars aligning and saying that this is the peak, anime movies will never be more popular, like, yeah, that's a possibility, but combined with everything else, his rhetoric, he is just a fucking old head hater. Hater. That's just how I feel. But moving on, a little bit more positive stuff. Well, I guess not really for Demon Slayer, but Gintama finally dethrones Demon Slayer. It finally happened. Demon Slayer, after I think it was 13 consecutive weeks, has been dethroned. Let's read. Gintama the Final ends Demon Slayer Kimetsu no Yaiba's 12-weekend reign at box office. Gintama the Final, new anime film of Hideaki Sorachi's Gintama manga, ranked number 1 in its opening weekend, ending Demon Slayer Kimetsu no Yaiba the movie Mugen Train's 12 consecutive weekends at the top of the Japanese box office. The film opened in Japan last Friday. The film is based, of course, on the finale of the original manga, combined with new story elements. And I just gotta say bravo. It took the Troll Kings themselves and Gintama, the Odd Jobs crew, Feba Yorosia, to come in and slay the Slayer itself. I'd imagine next weekend it'll go right back to number 1, just being honest. Maybe I'm off on that, but major shout outs to Gintama doing the damn thing, and of course shouts out to Demon Slayer. I don't need to say that, I've been shouting it out for like half a year now in these videos, but yeah, Gintama, massive props, and it's only right. At the end of the day, Hideaki Sorachi also did that little trolling of like, yo, come watch Gintama and I'll draw you some Demon Slayer art. Why not? Next up, really huge news for Jujutsu Kaisen. Now, it feels like it was just yesterday that I announced, yo, Jujutsu Kaisen, 15 million copies in circulation. Now, add 5 million more. Jujutsu Kaisen has now reached 20 million copies in circulation, which, god damn, Jujutsu Kaisen, yo, it is next up. It is, like, this is why Shueisha probably feels comfortable with, like, we don't gotta rush right away to make more Demon Slayer, on top of the fact that Demon Slayer is already making pounds of money, and One Piece still is making pounds of money. They got Jujutsu Kaisen that is up next. Like, yo, it literally feels like maybe a week or two ago, I was like, yo, guys, 15 million for Jujutsu Kaisen. Now it's 20 million. 20 million. And on top of that, like, there's a little bit of information that was put out there of just how much Jujutsu Kaisen has grown grown since the anime's debut. Let's read this. Jujutsu Kaisen manga's circulation jumped 235% after anime's premiere. Shueisha reported on Wednesday that Gege Akutami's Jujutsu Kaisen manga has 20 million copies in circulation, not sold, including digital copies. The manga's number of copies in circulation has risen to 235% since the premiere of its anime adaptation last October. The manga had around 8.5 million copies in circulation in the beginning of October and had reached 10 million copies by October 29th. On December 16th, the manga had reached 15 million copies in circulation. So in less than a month, it sold it pushed out 5 million more into circulation. Jujutsu Kaisen, that's that Tagashi inspiration right there. The author has went on record of saying big fan of Hunter x Hunter's author Yoshihiro Tagashi, you know, Hunter x Hunter, Yu Yu Hakusho, and yeah, that's showing because Jujutsu Kaisen is blowing up, and of course the anime returns this Friday, so I can't freaking wait for the second half of season 1. Jujutsu Kaisen, absolute greatness. I've been singing its praises for a bit now, and I'm really happy to hear this stuff, man. So next up, you're gonna probably cover your faces in a little bit of embarrassment for this. So it was, I want to say about a week ago when the whole Shueisha fiasco went down, copyright takedowns and all this other stuff, that on a live stream, the editor of One Piece on his browser history is showcased that he had some pirated websites of, like, you know, pirated manga in his browser history, and people were going crazy. Well, it's actually even funnier than that because apparently it was hentai. Let's read. One Piece editor Nayato's smartphone browsing history of pirated hentai manga websites was aired in his YouTube live streaming 4 days ago, but Shueisha announced that he touched that link unintentionally. Shut up! Talk about trying to cover, you know, a PR disaster there of them going after, you know, pirated content and all this other shit, and then BAM! The editor of One Piece reading some hentai on unofficial site. Yo, sometimes, man, the man upstairs just, he writes some wild stuff in life right now. So I wonder if he was reading like, yo, Nami takes it deep by Usopp. Funny story. And people, to wrap it up, we got the final story today. Eden's Zero, the latest work from the creator of Fairy Tail. Finally, we got a PV trailer for the upcoming anime, and it's looking good, people, from JC Staff, which I'm a little shaky with JC Staff. Seeing the visuals, it looks freaking awesome. I am so freaking pumped for this anime to come out, and we got a release date as well. Eden Zero anime premieres on April 10th. This year's 7th issue of Kodansha's weekly shonen magazine announced on Wednesday that the TV anime of Hiromashima's Eden Zero manga will premiere on NTV and other channels on Saturday, April 10th at 24:55, effectively April 11th, okay, at 12:55 a.m. So yeah, it's about time, people. We're about to be getting into some Eden's Zero. I'm about, and I've said this before, but I'm about halfway caught up with the manga. I stopped reading, honestly, for no particular reason, because, like, I really was enjoying it, and I felt like, holy shit, this did a lot of things better than Fairy Tail. So I'm really excited. Maybe I'll review the anime weekly, depending. I don't know. We'll see, because around that time, Jujutsu Kaisen will be ending, so it'll be a good replacement, because Eden Zero is pretty fire, and yeah, this trailer looks good. April 10th, let's go, baby. But I'm curious what you guys think about all the stories we talked about today. For starters, the director of Attack on Titan's latest episode, leave him alone, but at the same time, if you come to social media, you gotta know what to expect. There's assholes online, there's assholes everywhere, like, yeah, but still, don't be an asshole to this guy, or any animator for that matter. Boruto and Black Clover animes trending, love to see it, and it's perfect because both of them just started like some new chapters in their life, and yeah, really awesome stuff there. Yashahime Princess Half Demon, man, if that's the case, if that's truly the case, ugh. The show is thankfully not about Sesshomaru and Rin, it's about the children at this particular point, so it's not gonna affect my viewing that much, but that episode in particular and that reveal, ugh. Yoshiyuki Tomino talking shit about Demon Slayer, saying it's coincidence that it reached that level of success. Your thoughts on that, alongside your thoughts on Gintama beating out Demon Slayer. Crazy. Jujutsu Kaisen going up 235%, selling out or pushing 20 million copies into circulation. Your thoughts on that? Just goddamn. One Piece editor having hentai in his browser. And your thoughts on the new Eden Zero anime PV trailer. All of this is awesome. I can't wait for Eden Zero. Like, yo, you know, we had our love and hate relationship with Fairy Tail. Eden Zero, there was a lot more love as I was reading the manga. Again, I'm like on chapter 53-ish or something like that. So I'm really, really pumped for this. And yeah, Hiro Mashima, his art style, to see it animated again, it's gonna be awesome. And your thoughts on any of the stories we covered in today's episode. But that is all I have for this one. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed. If you liked anything I had to say or enjoyed the video, drop me a like. I'd greatly appreciate it. And if you want more from me, make sure to subscribe. Follow me on Twitter, Instagram. Hit that bell to get all notifications. And if you want to follow any of my other social media, links in the description below. I'm ForneverWorld, and as always, people, have an awesome day. And remember the golden rule: anime and manga for life, boy. Have an awesome day. Peace in. And you guys just watched another episode of Forever News. Have an awesome day.
It's nights like this and times like this that I can give another hit. But I've got this inside a switch, a natural bliss. But that I